Okay, so when you connect or when you create a surface from multiple curves like this, they have to be selected in the proper order in order to be displayed properly. So in this particular exercise, you're going to start at the bottom and then shift select in order all the way to the top. Now it's really picky about how the surface is generated, so if you select different paths in any particular order, that's the order that the surface will be generated. So just make sure you start from the bottom and go all the way up. Once all of your curves have been selected, you go over to surfaces and then we select loft. We don't have to apply any of the, we don't have to modify anything in the its options panel. Just click loft and you should see this appear. So any curve shape that you can generate, you can instantly connect and create a surface out of that shape by simply lofting the surface. As you can see, it went in order. Now if your construction history is still activated, you select any one of these curves. I'm going to resize it. You resize the curve, it'll modify the shape because of the construction history. The curves are still tight to the surface, so if I modify the surface or I modify the curve, it'll modify the surface. And if I go to my outliner, the window outliner, I can select any one of these curves and modify them, but if I'm happy with what I have here, I can just simply select my set of curves and delete them, and now my object will be a standalone shape. And if I select my object, let's see here, modify, there should be an option here that says convert to polygon. There we go. Underneath modify, convert, you can convert Nurbs to polygons. I'm just going to click this without modifying the settings, but just to give you an idea. See. So now my object has been converted to polygons. It's kind of like the helmet. Gives you two copies of the same object in one shot. Left side here is the Nurbs. On the right hand side is the polygon shape. See, the geometry is all kind of messed. It's all kinds of messed up, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea there. There's other ways to go about doing this or modifying the settings so it works a little bit better, but in this case here, this is just an example. There's one more little thing that we'll have to do is create the top. Actually, I'll just do it now. Why make another video just for that? Okay, so what we have to do here is go to create Nurbs sphere. I'm going to go to the options because I want to reset my settings and hit create. It's my Nurbs sphere, move it up, resize it, place it on the top of the shaker, modify it subtly, shrink it down. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And then squash the top portion. I'm going to switch to the side view for that so I can see and select the top vertices. Right click, control vertex, click only the top vertice points and squash it down. There we go. And there you have it. It's a mighty impressive salt shaker. You could be making salt shakers for the next Gears of War game. So that's pretty much it for the, what are they called, Nurbs surface exercises 1, 2, and 3. I'll hook you up with some additional exercises that go into like Nurbs spaceship making and polygon spaceship making. There's some interesting exercises that, this is just like the bare bones minimum. You're supposed to play around with these same skills and, develop your own pieces. So it just depends on the kinds of shapes that you need for any given situation. But there's more than one way to generate a surface. And these are just some of the ways you can do them. So you master the ability to create polygon shapes and Nurbs shapes. The next task is, of course, creating your figures, creating your objects, animating your objects. Well, texturing and coloring your objects, then animating them. But we'll get to that point.